times like this, it's just normal that they will be at the top of every conversation.
Yes.
Because it's one of the most prestigious, or should I say, the prestigious award scheme in Ghana.
Yes, arguably.
Yeah, held for
biggest.
over 25. We are going to have the 26th edition this year, actually. Nominees list are out. The last time we spoke here, you predicted certain artists making it to the Artist of the Year. Unfortunately, an artist you mentioned missed out for the first time in 10 years.
In 10 years.
In that category, and that's Sarkodie. I'm sure you've seen the list.
Yes.
As a precursor, like when you go through the list, generally, what is your impression on the list so far?
Okay, so when I saw the rollout of the nominees, I was like, okay, yes, this is TGMA. It's arguably the biggest, the most anticipated, the most patronized, and most significant entertainment event on the Ghanaian social calendar. And when I saw the nominees rolling out and all that, I had some few observations. There are some songs that I wanted to see in some categories. There are some artists that I wanted to see in some categories. And I realized that, okay, maybe they would open that window.
The errors and omission window.
The errors and omission window, so that people can file or people can draw their attention to these things and they will make amends, because it's only right for them to listen. Sometimes there's an oversight. Sometimes the people who were who you want them to be there also didn't do the needful. So all these things are supposed to be taken into consideration. So to me, my disappointment was one, Sarkodie mixing out in the Artiste of the Year category this year, because I believe that every other metrics that people would love to use in measuring an artist in the year under review, Sarkodie takes it. And aside that, I know per the definition of who the Artist of the Year is the Artist of the Year is adjudged by the Academy, the board, and the general public as the artist with the highest audience appeal and popularity in the year under review. And the artist must have released a hit single, an EP, or an album, and must be one of the artists with the highest nomination in the year under review. So I was just trying to compute some of the information in there, how many nominations this artist had, how many nominations this artist had. And I realized that last year, for instance, Nasi was in the Artist of the Year conversation, though he didn't have enough nominations as compared to MrBoNeZgh, and there was another. So it brings to mind a whole lot of other things that, I mean, the Artist of the Year.
You mean in the Artist of the Year category for last year, Nasi was in that category but didn't have enough nominations as compared to
MrBoNeZgh,
who was not nominated in that category.
Yes. So it means that probably we need to look at it. It's not only limited to the last part that defines the category definition. The last part must
the last
be one.
part says, it says that, and must be one of the artists with the highest nominations in the year under category, the year under review.
Yes.
Now that is emphatic.
Yes.
Per that statement, it is emphatic that that artist, to be qualified for the Artist of the Year, you must be one of the artists with the highest nominations in the year under review.
So the highest in which order? Because if you have 3, it may be highest. If you have 4, it may be highest, because if it's about highest nominations, then we need to revisit the Artist of the Year, the artists who actually made it for last year. Because Nasi had only 3 nominations.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's something we should have raised last year.
We raised it.
Once we didn't.
We raised it here on your platform.
Then that should have been submitted to the Errors and Omissions Committee.
Maybe they just needed a representation from the space to that side. And that is it. So
that was a policy concern, more like
sure.
Okay,
sure. So now, you see, with the artists, I have always had issues with who become the Artist of the Year.
And what is the issue?
Yes, my issue has to do with now. If you say a hit single, EP, or an album, which one are you placing a premium on? Because Ghana Music Awards, the definition of the Artiste of the Year from the inception of Ghana Music Awards, the definition was tight. At that time, you should have an album. It's not about singles. If you want to be in the Artist of the Year conversation, you must have an album. And I believe that, I mean, we want to make it easy for artists to make that cut. I believe if you want to make the Artist of the Year, because back then the most popular song of the year was the Ish.
Of course, until they changed the Artist of the Year.
To the Artist of the Year. So it means that now the Artist of the Year conversations, if you want to make a statement for an artist or to make it difficult for an artist to be there, then to me, I am just suggesting that we should make it an artist with an album.
So you mean that for one to now qualify, that's a suggestion you are making.
Yes.
For one to now qualify for the Artist of the Year category, there must be that strict measurements that you must have released.
That was how it was until they reviewed it to make it easier for a lot of people to be there. So now somebody can have a hit single and be in competition with somebody who has an album.
But I mean, if you have a hit single and it's big, it qualifies for a number of nominations. You are part of the highest nominated artists in the year. Then why should that prevent you from being in that category?